Okay, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a split face between Mario and Luigi. So to start this off, I'm going to go ahead and grab my ellipse tool and we'll form his body here. So let's draw a little circle here. After I draw that, I'm going to take my direct selection tool and I'm going to make a few adjustments here. So I'll click on this anchor point, pull out this handle, I'll pull out this side here to create his arm. And since we're doing Luigi too on the other side, I'm going to make this side a little more slanted than what we have over for Mario. Make Mario a little more round. Okay, then I'll go ahead and draw another circle here. That's going to become their overalls. So I'll take my direct selection tool and I'm going to push down the middle anchor point and I'll pull up the sides of these handles here to create the shape for the bottom of this overalls here. Get that little bit of a slant, and we'll slant that handle too, just using the direct selection tool. Okay, so the next thing I go ahead and do is we're going to create straps for his overalls. So to do that, I'll just grab my rectangle tool. So I'll switch from the ellipse tool to the rectangle tool. I'm going to draw a little rectangle. And then I'm going to go under my pen tool and find the add anchor point tool. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to add an anchor point on the bottom line here. I'll take my direct selection tool, pull that down to create a little bit of a point. And I'm going to push those straps in a little bit to get the shape. And then I'm going to grab my ellipse tool. We're going to throw a little circle in there to draw the buttons for the overalls. Okay, so I'll select this shape and I'll hold shift on my keyboard and I'll select this other shape using my selection tool. Make a copy of it by hitting Command C and pasting it by hitting Command V. And then I'm going to reflect it, so I'll just 2 fingers right click. I'm going to go transform, reflect, and reflect it on the vertical. So click OK, so let's line this up here on this side. Okay, so now that we've got the basic body, let's go ahead and let's make his head. So I'm going to grab my ellipse tool again, and I'm going to draw an oval or a circle for his head here. So for Mario's side, I'm going to add an anchor point here so we can make a rounder chin here. So let's add one down in this area so I can pull that up and out a little bit to make his cheeks a little bit rounder, because Luigi's side, he's going to be a little more narrow. So let's push that side in and we're going to flare out a little bit at the top. And we'll also push in this handle here to get more of the shape of for Luigi's head. Okay, next thing let's go ahead and we'll draw his ears. We'll keep those pretty simple. So let's draw a little circle here. And I'm going to grab my arc tool. So I'm going to go under where the line segment tool is. I'm going to switch that to the arc tool and I'll just draw a couple of curved lines here to make the little wrinkle in his ear. Then might take my direct selection tool. I'm going to push this bottom anchor point in a little bit. I'm going to select all those pieces with my selection tool. So I'll just drag this over, select those 3 parts. I'm going to go ahead and group it together. So you can do that by clicking there, or you can right click, group, or you can go to object and group. Either way will get the job done. So let's go ahead and send this to the back. So I'm going to select that, right click, arrange, and send to back. Stick the ear in the back there. So we're going to make a copy of this, Command C. This time I'm going to hit Command F. So Command F will paste it directly on top of the shape that's already there. And the reason I'm doing that is because it'll keep it in the back instead of bringing it to the front. So now I'm going to go ahead and reflect that. So right click, transform and reflect, or reflect it on the vertical, click OK. And then we'll have the ear for Luigi on this side. Okay, next thing, let's go ahead. I will make the sideburns. So Luigi's and Mario's sideburns are made a little bit different, so we're gonna draw them separately. So for Mario's, he's got a couple little bumps here, so I'm gonna draw a couple of ovals there to make the shape. So I'll draw a couple of ovals here to make the shape, and then what I'm gonna go ahead and do is get it lined up where I want it to be. And I'm gonna select these two shapes. So with my selection tool, click on one, I'll hold shift, I'll select the other one. Then I'm going to go ahead and use my Pathfinder tool. So if you can't find your Pathfinder tool, just look under Window, it's all in alphabetical order. So we'll use the Pathfinder to unite those two shapes together. Okay, so with the Pathfinder, unite the two shapes together. I'm going to take my direct selection tool, just make a few little adjustments to the shape here. And then I'll go ahead and do Luigi sideburns. So I'll go ahead and use my ellipse tool again, and I'm going to draw a little oval here, and I'll just take my direct selection tool to adjust the shape for Luigi's sideburns, since this is a little bit different from Mario's. Okay. So next thing we'll do is we'll make the mustache. So for Mario, he's got a bumpier mustache. So I'm going to take my ellipse tool and I'm going to draw 3 circles here that will become his mustache. Okay, I'm going to take my direct selection tool and I'm going to click on this anchor point here on the side to select that anchor point. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to convert that to a corner. So we'll create a little point there. So I'll take my direct selection tool, pull that up a little bit, and I'm going to just adjust a few bumps here to get Mario's mustache. So I'll go ahead and select those 3 shapes. So I'll click on one shape, hold shift on my keyboard, select the next, and then select the third. Use my Pathfinder tool again and unite those shapes together. So I'll have Mario's half of the mustache. And then to switch for Luigi, I'm just going to draw one big oval, and I'm going to click on this anchor point here on the very side, and I'm going to convert it to a corner just like I did with Mario. So then we'll pull that up and pull his mustache out a little bit, so we'll get the shape for Luigi's mustache too. So next thing we'll go ahead and do is we'll draw their eyes. So their eyes are going to be very similar. So I'm going to start by just making an oval here. And I'm going to draw another oval inside. For his iris, another oval for his pupil, and one more oval for his highlights. So we'll make this one black. We'll make this one, say, blue. And we'll leave that white. White. So I'm going to go ahead and select these 4 circles. So if you hold shift on your keyboard, you can select all those things without selecting everything. We'll make a copy, so I'll hit Command C to copy, Command V to paste, and then I'm going to right click, transform, and reflect, and I'll do that on the vertical. Okay, and maybe on Luigi's side we'll maybe make his eye green. Okay, then we'll go ahead and we'll draw their nose. So they both have pretty big noses, so we won't really need to do much to change that. Okay, so I'll change the color of his nose here in a little bit, but for now I'll maybe just leave it green. Okay, so now let's go and do the eyebrows. So their eyebrows are going to more or less be the same. So to draw the eyebrows, I'm going to go ahead and make an oval here, and we're going to select the 2 side anchor points with our direct selection tool. We'll convert those to corners, and I'll just pull those down to create the arched eyebrow for him. And once we've done that, I'll just select this, make a copy of it, Command C, Command V, and then we'll line this up here on the other side. Okay, now let's go ahead and we'll make his hat. So to make his hat, we're going to draw an oval here. So I'm going to probably go ahead and we'll start with the top of this hat. So let's draw our oval here. We'll grab our direct selection tool. We're going to pull down these anchor points here on the side to form the shape. We'll push up this middle piece a little bit. I might go ahead and fan this out a little bit. So we're gonna probably make his hat more the shape of Mario's, just for simplicity's sake, or we'll just flare it out a little bit more on this side for Mario, so we'll leave Luigi's tapered in maybe a little bit. So I made a few little adjustments. Now what we'll go ahead and do is we'll get the brim for his hat. So let's draw another little oval here, and I'll take my direct selection tool and just kind of push up the bottom, pull down the sides here to get the brim for the hat. And then we'll draw a little circle here where the letter for the hat will go, but we won't put a letter in there just because it'll make two different shapes, so we'll just leave it at that. So I want this brim to sit in front of that, so what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to bring this to the front. So I'm going to select the brim here, I'm going to right click, I'm going to arrange, and I'm going to bring that to the front, so then that little piece will sit there behind him. Okay, so I'm just going to select the whole figure. We'll put him a little more central in our frame. Okay, now what we need to do is we're going to split him in half to make one side the colors for Luigi, one side colors for Mario. So we're going to grab our scissor tool. So our scissor tool will be underneath this eraser tool icon. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is grab that. So we're going to go to the center here of this shape. We're going to click to cut right through the middle. So I'll cut on the bottom of that shape. So we'll make this side red, and we'll make the other side green. We're going to do this again for the brim of the hat, so we'll snip that in half, snip, snip, and we'll make this side red, the other side green for Luigi. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for his head, so I'll grab the scissor tool, we're going to snip here in the middle there. And to color their faces in, I'm going to use my color picker window. So I'll double click on my fill color here. We'll get some color from Mario, and we will make Luigi's color a little bit different just to help separate them a little bit. Maybe we'll make Luigi a little paler. Okay, so let's grab his ear. I'll just suck out the color for this side. Grab the other ear, grab my eyedropper over here, and we'll suck out the color for that ear. Okay, then we'll go ahead and we'll split his wardrobe in half, or at least his shirt. So I'm going to snip there with the scissors, snip down here. And we'll make one side red, and we'll make the other side green. So I'll select those two sides. I'll put that back into place. I should probably go ahead and snip his nose in half too. So I'll grab my scissors. We're going to snip there, right down the middle, snip there. And then we'll use the eyedropper there to get the two shades of their face. So we'll make Mario's hair black, and we'll make Luigi's hair brown. So I'll select those parts and we'll just throw in some brown. Okay, so we'll probably just make his suit blue, as they both wear blue overalls, and that'll work just fine. And yellow buttons. There we have it, a split face between Mario and Luigi.